Ooh, this is going to be so good. Today we're talking about Valgavoth Terror Eater, a terrifying 9-drop in the command zone. Not my typical go-to, but I think there's lots of ways to get there, and Valgavoth is going to close out the game in a hurry once it hits the battlefield. So because it costs 9 mana and we definitely want all of the abilities it has, we really have to have some forward-thinking, low-to-the-ground, early game plays. So we're going to play a card like Blood Pet, which puts a mana away for later. We're going to play Dark Ritual. We're going to play Cabal Ritual. We're going to play Culling a Week. None of those should surprise anyone. But I've also built another little mana package that should work very effectively. Endrick Sar, Master Breeder. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create X 1/1 black Thrall creature tokens. And those pair perfectly with Phyrexian Altar and Ashnod's Altar. So we set up this little play where we do the stuff we want on curve, get a benefit of some creatures, and then sack a bunch of those Thralls to help pay for Valgavoth. We're also going to play Bubbling Muck, and if you've ever been one to play with High Tide, you know how powerful this effect is. I think this is also the perfect deck for Azor's Gateway. It's a bunch of looting, and it takes a while to flip, but once you do, you get Sanctum of the Sun, and it taps for X mana of any one color where X is your life total. So even getting to use this once is an absolute home run. Now, we're going to play Bontu's Monument. Obviously, just making Valgavoth cost 1 less is good. We also have Thran Dynamo, and Throne of Eldraine, and the classic package of Cabal Coffers, with Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. I think it would be worthwhile to run Heartless Summoning in this deck as well. And you can see we're going to have lots of agency early on in the game, trying to set up for our big late game plays. Now, everyone knows about Black Market Connections. It's really good. Also, it'll ramp you. But if you played Black Market, whenever a creature dies, it put a charge counter on it. And in your pre-combat main phase, add black for each charge counter on Black Market. This card goes absolutely crazy. And since our deck is going to do exactly what this card wants, this card's going to be really powerful. Our mid-game plays are all about controlling the board. So we've got Liliana Dreadhorde General, Accursed Marauder, Plague Crafter, all these cards that give us a ton of value and let us trade 1-for-1 with all of our opponents. We also have Rankle, the Master of Prankles. This lets you get sacrificed creatures as well. And as a play right after you play Valgavoth, this is huge. We also get a cutie little snake from Bloomburrow, Rottenmouth Viper, potentially costs 1 mana, and then it starts making your opponents sacrifice stuff or lose life, and we want both of those things to happen. Now, obviously with our deck being a big black mana deck, we can play a classic like Torment of Hailfire. If you've ever played this card, you know how satisfying it is to fire it off for X equals 10 to 15 or 20. By the time you have that much mana, the game is going to end, and your opponents are going to have nothing left but lands. So the game plan for Valgavoth, ramp really hard, destroy anything that touches the board that could impact your game, and eventually play Valgavoth. I guarantee you'll have gained some life along the way. And when you start putting your opponent's stuff into play under your control, oh, what a sweet thing that's going to be. Like I said, this is going to be so good. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the Moxfield link in the comments.